actually got me a decent memoir.
You want to talk about that? Because I was going to ask you about that at another time. But if you want to talk about that, you can go ahead.
Well, we had high stakes gambling games. Now, I don't gamble. I don't sit around. I don't do any of that. But some guys do. Red Rocks used to gamble. Jeff used to gamble. Guys like that. And we would run the house, and we provide uh, booze, street booze, food, drugs if you wanted. But we take 10% of every hand to the house. And these are high stakes gambling games. And usually the payouts would be in the streets, like bank account to bank account. But sometimes it's just cash money or whatever thing. There was an agreement that anything, any commodity that had monetary value, you could use that to pay shit off, including drugs. Like travel, whatever. But most of these guys didn't use dope. So I've seen, just gambling games right in the fucking block or in another spot where we'll run them. We got, little solutions. I've seen 20, 30,000 cash just on the tables. That's not really the big money. They're unlimited, high stakes gambling games. Well, this dude was running up gambling debts. So, and not really big debts. He'd get some and pay some off. And then but when he won, he wanted his money. And if you win, you're going to get your money. And then he'd spend a lot of time spending on dope. And then, but when he was losing, he wasn't fucking paying. So people were starting to grumble because these are honorable games. Your words, your bond, you got to pay your shit, right? So I don't gamble. But what I would do is I would make sure if you win, you get your money, and if you lose, you're going to pay. I'd make sure that happened. So the big guy ran up like I don't know what much, maybe $1,200, $1,300 of debt, which was really nothing. But people were grumbling, so I told them, okay, listen, you got to step in actually game until you get your money right to pay your debt. So he was supposed to give a sack in, and an agreement was with everybody involved, anything with monetary value, finish it up. So I told him, either get your money right, or when your travel hits, I'll pay it off and motherfucking, and I'll take that. Sure, everybody gets paid, or I'll convert it over to cash for people. I make sure everything stays smooth. Well, he didn't like that, so it turned into a thing. We had some words a few times. So I just told him, listen, you're barred from the gambling games. You're blackballed until you fucking pay your debt. And that led to the night before I ended up killing this guy. It was he was in another guy's cell, Bobby Mills' cell, not Barry, Bobby Mills, shooting dope. He was shooting some heroin. He had a banger booth. And he's talking about fucking killing me and the guy that was running the house. And talking about him and a friend of his, or friends. Anyhow, so I was warned the next morning. So it was my day off. I'm in D block. This guy's in A block. And so what he did is he sent a center hall worker that works with him named Greg Bomb. There's a bunch of guys working in the hallway there. They're all hooked up. He sent Greg over to D block. He said, hey, tell John to come out of the hallway. I want to holler. So when he sent Greg down over there, he shot back to A block, talked to somebody, and came back and posted up by the steps. All this came out in trial. All people testifying and everything else. This was the evidence that was testified to. So when Bond told me that, I saw it. So I went and told Jack, I said, listen, man, it's 2 was he's whooping again. And he had a fucking piece last night. He was banging some dope. He's talking, the murder game and all that. So I'm going to get my shit just in case something cracks out. I'm not going out to hit him, but I'm strapped just in case he tries to make a move, in case I got to defend myself. And all this came out in court. Everything I'm telling you was in the record. Absolutely in the record. I even testified to this at trial. So, and the dude, when I told him that, he went and got a lead pipe. So we rolled out in the hallway. I went and posted up. This guy standing on like a step. and I went close up in front of him, and the guy with me was off this guy's right shoulder in the middle of the hallway. I told him, what's up, you want to see me? And a dude came running around the A and C cell block side with a piece. And he tried to hit the Jap. And the Jap slipped him and hit him like bam. And bam, hit him again, knocked him down. And the dude lost his piece. And he was stunned. But when he did that, this dude pulled a piece from the back of his waistband, tried to hit me. I blocked it. He hit me in the leg. I had my leg up too. I had a leg wound, wasn't really bad, but it was leg wound from the night. I blocked it. And he came off the steps and landed on me. He was lunging at me. And while he did that, and the Jap seen him lunging at me, he thought he hit me like in the upper torso somewhere. And the Jap swung at him with a pipe and he hit him in the head, but nicked him in the head, couldn't knock him out or nothing. And he was lunging at me. He landed on me, and me and him landed on the floor. And he landed on top, and he was bigger than me. When he landed on me, I grabbed up his right arm, which was his knife arm. I pushed up my left arm. I pulled my piece out. I had a pretty big piece, about 12, 13-inch piece. And I just started hitting him. We got touched, and then I just started blowing his fucking ass out. And then the whole scene exploded. Because when this crime comes, there wasn't no cops there. And then cops and everybody, but they didn't look like cops. You got to remember, at Leavenworth at the time, you could wear sweat clothes, all multicolored, different sweat clothes, different color shirts, pants, all that shit, tennis shoes, everything. So people are running around, and they look like cops that are wearing just regular civilian clothes. A lot of times cops be wearing civilian clothes. So I don't know who's who or what's what. When the cops are coming, some were in civilian clothes, not uniforms. I thought we walked into an ambush. So it's on. So I'm booking this dude. The dude with me gets hit from behind, and a guy came behind and hit him from behind. It turned out it was a cop with one of them big flashlights. Hit him and cut his face open by his eye, stunned him, and then he turned and went after the cop. The cop ran down the hallway. He's chasing the cop. He's got Rhino's knife. He picked up Rhino's knife off the floor. He lost the fight. He got fight, picked up a piece, and he's chasing the cop down the hallway. So now I get hit from behind with a trash can, a 55, like a big 55-gallon trash can. I get hit from behind that. I turn around, I go after this motherfucker. And he runs around this big pillar and falls down and bangs his head, breaks his thumb, gets a lump on his head. And then another motherfucker hit me with a mop breaker. I went after him. And another guy fell down on the floor. And I fucking got over him. I looked down. You ever hear say it's scared stiff? This motherfucker was on his back on the floor, just stiff as a board, looking over. I was just terrified. I started laughing. This fucking guy. And I fucking went. Then another motherfucker hit me with a mop bucket full of fucking water. And no, before that, I got hit with a floor buffer. One of them big ass floor buffers. And I went after this motherfucker. This guy fell down. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. He ended up breaking his arm when he landed on the floor. I went back. This other guy was getting up. I started hitting him again. And he said I left the guy on the ground, went after them, came back, like 3 times or so, started looking up some more. Anyhow, then I got hit with a fucking mop bucket full of soapy and waxy water. I got hit with the bucket and the water in the face and everything. It blinded me for a second, so I stepped back. And I went into a crouch, and I had the knife go back and forth, keeping everything off me, and they were off me now. And then this is when some cops come running up, grabbed the dude off the floor, threw him on a gurney, and broke for the house, but he ain't going to make it. So they took out with him, and I'm fucking squared off looking at these motherfuckers. I don't know who they are. I don't recognize anybody. But then finally I noticed some cop uniforms, and they're saying, put the knife down, put the knife down. I ain't putting the knife down first, so I'm sure, we ain't in an ambush. I ain't got a four motherfuckers, armed motherfuckers I'm dealing with. And then when I finally seen that this was over, I motherfucking looked around and seen it was okay. I dropped the piece. They cuffed me. They walked me down the hallway and towards the captain's office. And I see the Jap crouched down in the corner. up against the wall. He's got a piece in his hand, face, bloody where he got hit from behind. I told him, hey man, it's over. Well, he looked around, he saw it, and he cuffed me. They cuffed him up, took us into the fucking cabin. I was wanting to take our pictures. And I told him, don't take my picture. They did. So I kind of blew my cheeks up and all, took a picture of. Anyhow, they took us to the fucking home. So what they did the first time I went into court, the U.S. attorney jumped up and said, Your Honor, this man is a member of the Aryan brotherhood. He's a contract killer. This is a contract killer. And I stood up because I'm my own lawyer. I told him I object. There's no evidence to support that. There's none. And they're saying this is a contract killer. This guy will go back to the West Coast, testify against people. It turns out in Orange County, but I didn't know anything about any of that. And also because our crew had been working with, the AP had been working with the Chicago mob out in California, doing gambling, loan charging, and all that type of stuff with the Chicago Italians. So, and he was involved in a lot of that. So there was like some word that he maybe was going to be testifying against people on some racketeership with the Italians and whatever. But I didn't know about that either. And they were trying to say that somehow I got wind that he was going to be going back out to the coast of doing this shit. So I fucking whacked him to keep this from that. But they couldn't prove any of that. They just pulled that shit out of their ass. What it really was about was fucking gambling games. And this guy not paying his fucking debts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Damn.
So anyhow, and my jury, I'm pro se, my jury, we had like, I don't know, like a 10-day or maybe 2-week trial. My jury was out 3 days. On the second day of trial, they tried to find me and my co-defendant not guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, finding that we conspired to commit self-defense. And the court said, well, this is during their deliberation. The court said, oh, well, that's not a violation of law. That's not something they should be worried about. Then on the third day, they says, can we find that defendant, basically me, because there was some testimony that the chap may have stabbed him too, but most of the testimony was the only witnesses, the only one they seen stab the guy was me. So they said, can we find that defendant, me, armed himself with a weapon only for self-defense purposes when this guy threatened him the night before and then called him out in the hallway. He got that knife only for self-defense purposes in case he had to defend himself in case he was attacked. Can we find premeditated self-defense? And the judge says, no, premeditation moves towards first-degree murder. So a technical term doesn't apply to self-defense. And basically misled him that you can't prepare to defend yourself or self-defense, which is out of the law. And that's actually what I testified to from the stand, too. I got peace because this guy had a big threat, so I was just in case I had to protect myself. And then the judge gave a bad malice murder jury instruction. He says, if you find that the defendant used a deadly weapon during the course of a homicide, you may infer the element of malice in the absence of explanatory circumstances. You don't have to, but you can. And he says, as a matter of law, a knife is a deadly weapon. Well, I testified I used a deadly weapon, and it was during a homicide. It was justifiable homicide, self-defense. But he stripped that from me when I testified. I got the weapon just in case I had to defend myself. And he stripped that from me when the jury said, can we find that he committed premeditated self-defense, that he prepared or pre-planned for self-defense by getting the weapon and going in the hallway just in case he had to defend himself. And I even told him in my either opening statements or closing summations, I'm my own lawyer, I told the jury, I said, listen, somebody was going to be on trial here today. Either this dude for killing me or me in here defending against this attack. And it turned out I'm in here because I defended myself against the lethal attack and killed him in a knife fight. So they tried to find me not guilty by reason of self-defense, but the judge gave some bad instructions. The fucking judge during the trial was given newspaper interviews with the press, talking about we're members of the White Aryan Brotherhood. But we got all these witnesses I'm bringing in. They're Aryan Brotherhood or Mexican Mafia. Some as many as 25 convictions and records for murders, narcotics, satanic robberies, snap. And then he says, and the rumor is that the Brotherhood may come and try to break me out during trial. Oh, what's this guy? Just out in the street car giving fucking newspaper interviews. And prior to trial, he went to the prison and met with the warden, Jerry O'Brien, and was coaching Jerry O'Brien on how his staff should testify in his court.
1 minute left.
Saying, you're representing an important governmental agency. Make sure they look right, talk right, and act right in my courtroom in front of the jury and the public and all that. He's coached them. So Jerry O'Brien generated a memorandum and distributed to all his department heads and had them give it to all their fucking employees. So that's like a biased judge and all that, right? So the case is kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
but I should have beat that.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. They were looking to give you a fucking life sentence, bro. That's what they were doing.
Hey, you want me to call you back?
Yeah.